Have mercy on me, a sinner.
Hey guys, welcome to a Let's demo. This is on the Army of Two, the Devil's Cartel, also considered Army of Two 3. I wasn't 100% sure if it was going to be a number 3 or just kind of like a 2.5, but the logo has the W in Army of Two as like a 3 symbol. So it's definitely Army of Two number 3. I have played the Army of Two number 2 before. I didn't play number 1 just because it was a little before my Xbox 360 time. But I did play number 2 and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I only really played it in co-op, and honestly that's the best way to experience Army of Two. Obviously it's in the title, Army of Two. The best way to experience is definitely in co-op, and especially if it's both the first time you've played it, because there's some really epic experiences, kind of like your Tomb Raiders and your Uncharted, so like big explosions and stuff like that. So if you both haven't experienced the game before, you probably both get a bigger surprise out of it, which is really cool, I think. But you know, when I did play Army of Two number 2, it did get kind of boring pretty fast, and even though I did play it in co-op, yeah, it was still kind of boring, but I was kind of, it was still a solid experience, and I'm kind of hoping it would be better in this next one. And you know, the demo so far really kind of showed, yeah, it is actually looking pretty good and looks fun. This is the last half of the demo that I'm showing you, because the demo went for 20 or so minutes, maybe not that long, maybe 15, so I cut a good 5-10 minutes out, and this is the last half. And this is probably the better half as well, kind of just to show you what the game is actually like, whereas the first half was kind of boring and stuff. So this is the last half of the demo, and hopefully that if you can't be bothered downloading it yourself, that this is either a good indication or a bad indication whether or not you'll get the game. But yeah, even, you know, the stuff I wasn't expecting, kind of, like, especially in a demo, like even before you start the game, you're given $60,000, obviously not real money, you're given 60,000 in-game dollars, and you can spend all that kind of stuff on weapons in the game. So I bought a new first weapon, secondary weapon, and handheld sidearm or whatever. And you also have the ability to upgrade those even further with new attachments, and there's heaps of attachments and heaps of different categories for each gun. So that was really cool, and you know, it really makes you unique. They also, this wasn't in the demo, but they also had a video that, like in Army of Two number 2, you could customize your face mask and make yourself look as cool as you want, and unique as well. So that was cool. It's a shame, I was a little disappointed that I couldn't kind of fiddle around with it for the demo to do a cool kind of mask for you guys, but that's okay. You know, it's a feature that they can keep for the game. Yeah, you got a huge wallet, and yeah, it took me a good 10 minutes just to kind of go through everything and kind of get the best setup possible. And I thought that was, you know, good that they added that, so you can kind of get a taste of what you can do. They also, the demo also gave you the option to do co-op, which I didn't take advantage of just because I didn't want any lag or anything. But I thought that was pretty cool for a demo. So if you're the kind of person who plays with friends a lot, you and a friend can kind of both get the demo and play together to kind of see if it's worth it. And you know, in like Gears and stuff, oh, I'm not sure Gears actually 100%, but the split screen and there's all that good stuff. So yeah, this bit was really annoying if you're watching now. Like my teammate blocked me from taking cover. That happened a few times actually, now that I think about it. That was probably the worst feature in the game. But you know, the gameplay was a little stiff. What I mean by stiff is, like, you know, third-person shooter, and you kind of look over your shoulder and it's uncomfortable, but you do get used to it, like with any third-person or first-person game for that matter, and it did feel a little bit better as I got through it more. But overall, you know, the gameplay is pretty solid, the shooting feels pretty real, and you know, the enemies, they didn't seem too stupid. Like a few of them were kind of just standing there, but you know, yeah, it felt, you know, it actually felt pretty good. And this bit that I'm about to do is pretty cool, even though I didn't really understand what was happening with this one cowboy dude, as you'll be able to see in a second. Hold on. Yeah, the cowboy guy in the back, so I shot him there, and it's like, is he dead? I don't understand. Now didn't have a red highlight over him. So yeah, I wasn't sure what was going on there, but that was a pretty cool bit. You know, that kind of breach, and it's a thing has been done before, like, you know, your Rainbow Sixes and your Black Ops and stuff like that. So I mean, they do take from other stuff, like with Gears of War. I'm not sure if Gears of War was the first game, one of the first games to do this. Obviously, there was probably something else previously, but you know, you'll take your separate paths to your co-op team. So like right now, for example, I'm going into the chopper, and my co-op partner is staying down. I thought I'd go into the chopper because I thought it'd be more exciting to watch than rather just me running through and probably dying at the bottom, because there's a lot of enemies that I kill in the chopper. As you can already see, I've already got 5 dots on my thing. But you know, you get used to this game. Like I said, it's a little uncomfortable to begin with, but you get used to the layout and looking over your shoulder and stuff, especially because I've been playing quite a bit of Battlefield 3 and Black Ops 2 lately, and I haven't, you know, the only third-person game I've played lately is Tomb Raider, and it's not really the same. It's, you know, you're not constantly shooting. So, you know, that was pretty cool. The good graphics, you know, that was the next thing I have written down here. So, the graphics are decent, you know, like just like in the previous game. There were nothing to really, you know, be excited about. But, you know, they're decent. They do the job. And the sound, like I mentioned before, I think I might have mentioned before, the guns feel really realistic, which is a feature that I really like in any game. In any game, a realistic gun makes it feel better. So, like, when you do kill somebody, you feel like you actually really shot at them. And this turret that I'm using now felt pretty cool to use, even though I felt like I was missing them a lot. But other than that, you know, yeah, the sound is pretty decent. You know, it's hard to kind of compare sound, you know, these days, because sound is such an easy thing to come across these days, which is a good thing. Other thoughts on the demo? You know, I do wish it was a little longer, and that, yeah, I'm not sure, because I'm not sure if they're adding a multiplayer aspect this time around. It's probably something I should have researched beforehand, but if they are, I wish they kind of added to it. So I mean, it's not really a complaint, but and I wish kind of that they would make the enemies kind of, you see here they're all highlighted, but there was a previous time where we got split up and I wasn't really sure what to do. So it's like, I wish they kind of explained that to me a little bit better. It's not really holding my hand or anything, but it was like, am I meant to go this way? Am I meant to go that way? Like, even at the start, there's this one bit where I start following these dudes, and then the door shuts in front of me, and it's like, oh no, I need to go the other way with the other guy. So it's like, wish they'd kind of explain it to me more, but, you know, whatever. But, you know, in terms of whether you should get this game, buy it, or rent it, in my opinion, it's the type of game that that I might get in the future when it's a lot cheaper. I won't be getting it when it comes out, especially because, you know, I've got a bunch of games coming out, like Gears of War, for example, and Bioshock Infinite and Injustice Gods Among Us. So I'll probably skip this game getting it brand new. Yeah, just because I've got so many other better games to play out there. So I mean, if you're into co-op games, like you have a friend that you can do split screen with, or even over Xbox Live, then this game is probably for you, because as you can see, look, I mean, it looks fun as, really. I mean, perfect co-op experience, and it really is probably one of the best co-op experiences you can get out there. So I mean, yeah, for me, I'm going to pass on it for now until it gets a little cheaper. And if you're really not into third-person games, this is as third-person as they get. So yeah, if you don't like third-person, you probably want to pass on this game. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, until the next Let's Demo. Anyway, see ya.